today we're making sourdough pecan rolls, sometimes called sticky buns, which are basically cinnamon rolls that you place on top of a maple caramel glaze and pecans. Then you bake them until that glaze is bubbling. Then you flip the rolls over, the crunchy pecans are on top, and the maple caramel glaze seeps down through the rolls, leaving them sticky, sweet, and delicious. Here's how to make them. Start with a mixing bowl on a digital scale and add 150 grams of whole milk. Then add 5 tablespoons of melted butter. 5 tablespoons is around 70 grams of butter before you melt it. Afterwards, it's around 65 grams. Then add 50 grams of brown sugar, light or dark brown sugar, either way works fine. Then get out 1 medium egg and crack it into the bowl. It's around 50 to 60 grams by weight. Then add 6 grams of kosher salt or sea salt. 6 grams is kind of light on the salt, but this is a sweeter bun, so we don't need as much salt. Then get out 200 grams of active and risen sourdough starter. To feed this starter, I took 25 grams of starter out of my fridge the night before and fed it 100 grams of water and 100 grams of bread flour. That left me with 200 grams of active and risen starter the next morning. And I had about 25 grams of starter left over in the jar, so I just took that jar, put it back in the fridge until the next time I wanted to bake. Once your liquid ingredients are in the bowl, mix everything together with a spoon or a fork, chopping up the egg and just making sure everything dissolves and mixes together. Then add 400 grams of plain white bread flour to the liquid ingredients. I used Bob's Red Mill brand of bread flour, but any brand of good bread flour should work fine for this recipe. Once all the ingredients are added to the bowl, mix everything together with a spoon until the ingredients start to form a wet and sticky dough. Then flip your dough out onto your kitchen counter and knead it by hand for about 8 to 10 minutes. For the first couple of minutes, I usually just spend that time using the dough to pick up those little pieces of dough that are still on the counter. Then I keep kneading by hand until my 8-minute timer goes off and my dough finally looks like this, nice and smooth and elastic. Now it's time for the bulk fermentation, or the first rise. I like to get out a glass bowl. It's a 7-cup glass bowl with a lid that I have greased with a little bit of butter. I place the dough into the bowl, press it down so it's relatively flat, pop the lid on, and then since my dough basically fills this bowl halfway up, I know that I can consider my dough doubled in size when it rises and fills the entire bowl. So let your dough rise at room temperature for 6 to 8 hours or until it's completely doubled in size like this. It took my dough 8 hours until it was fully doubled in size. Now it's time to make the cinnamon sugar filling. For that, you'll start with 1 stick of butter, 113 grams, cut up into cubes. The butter should be at room temperature. Put it right into a mixing bowl. Then get an equal amount of brown sugar, 113 grams, and add that to the same bowl. And then the last thing you'll need is 5 grams or 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And then using a fork or a whisk, cream the ingredients together until it forms a cinnamon sugar paste. You can also do this in a stand mixer using a paddle attachment. It will go faster that way, but I usually just use a fork. Once your cinnamon sugar paste is smooth, creamy, and spreadable, it's ready to use. I just put it back in the bowl and put it off to the side until I'm ready to put it onto the rolls. Now the next and last thing you'll be making is the maple caramel glaze that will go underneath the rolls while you bake them. So put 4 tablespoons of butter into a pan on medium heat, then stir the butter around with a wooden spoon for a few minutes or until it's mostly melted in the pan, and then add 150 grams of brown sugar. Did I mention this recipe has brown sugar and butter in it? Then add 100 grams of real maple syrup, which will bring flavor and glaziness to this caramel sauce, and then stir all of that together with a wooden spoon, cooking it down for a few minutes until everything is dissolved and it forms one cohesive glaze. It shouldn't take more than 1 or 2 minutes of cooking. After everything has melted down, turn the heat off and add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and then a 1/4 teaspoon or a hefty pinch of kosher salt. Bring that together with a wooden spoon to finish the sauce. Then move the sauce to a 9x13 baking dish. You can use glass or metal for this recipe. Pour the glazy caramel sauce into the bottom of the pan, then spread it out to the edges with a spatula. The glaze will start to harden the more it cools, but if it hardens, that's no problem at all. Then the last thing you'll need for these pecan rolls is about 200 grams of chopped or whole pecans, whichever you prefer. Dump the pecans into the bottom of the pan and then spread them out with a spatula, or line them up in nice, neat rows like this. I don't really know if it was worth it, but I did it. Now it's time to shape the pecan rolls and place them on top of these pecans. Move the pan out of the way and get out your risen dough. Take the lid off and then gently release the dough from the sides of the bowl. Plop the dough onto your clean kitchen counter and press the dough down with your fingertips, flattening it into a rectangle. Then using a wooden rolling pin, roll out the dough until it's roughly 12 inches by 18 inches. You can use a ruler for this part if you want to, or you can just go by feel. Once your dough is roughly 12 by 18 inches, tug on the edges so it's squared off instead of rounded, and then you could add your cinnamon sugar paste that you made before. Take all of the cinnamon sugar paste and put it on top of the dough in dollops all around the dough, then spread it around with a spatula until it covers the entire sheet of dough minus about a 1-inch gap on the bottom. That'll help the dough stick to itself. Then to roll these rolls, start on the edge of the dough that's farthest away from you and gently roll towards yourself, creating a tight cylinder of dough. You'll have a seam on top like this. Crimp it down with your fingers and your thumbs until the seam is sealed. Now you can cut and divide the rolls. For a 9x13 baking pan, I like to divide this dough into 12 rolls, so I start with a serrated bread knife, cutting a line right down the middle, dividing the log in two. This looks really nice. Then I cut each of those halves in half, and then I cut each of those pieces of dough into 3 individual pieces of dough, leaving me with 12 rolls that are basically the same size. Now at room temperature, the maple caramel glaze is fairly rock solid, so it's a good platform on top of which to place the rolls. So arrange the rolls as evenly spaced out as you can on top of the maple caramel pecan glaze. Now these rolls are ready for the second rise or the final proof. To avoid the rolls drying out, cover the baking pan up with a sheet of plastic wrap, and then let the rolls rise on your kitchen counter at room temperature for 2 to 3 hours. After 2 hours, my rolls had started bumping into each other and they were almost doubled in size. At this point, you can bake your rolls right away or store them in the fridge and bake them whenever you want the following day. A half hour before your rolls are ready to bake, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then once your oven is preheated, take your rolls and move them into the oven. Whether they're cold from the fridge or at room temperature, either way is fine. Place them in the middle rack of your preheated oven and bake for 35 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. After 35 minutes of baking, your rolls should be golden brown and the glaze should be bubbling. Allow your rolls to cool for about 5 minutes on the counter and then get a sturdy cutting board that's a little bit bigger than your 9x13 pan. Then gently flip the rolls over and the pecans should allow the rolls to release from the pan when you lift up the baking pan. Side note, if you let your rolls cool in the pan longer for about 20 minutes or so, your glaze will harden and it won't spill everywhere like mine did. But they are called sticky buns after all, so I'm just going to deal with it. So for these sourdough pecan rolls, the pecans basically turned into sugary candied pecans, and they taste absolutely delicious. And the dough, just like my sourdough cinnamon roll recipe, is very soft, fluffy, and brioche-like, but it's pretty easy to make. These rolls are deliciously sweet from the maple caramel syrup on top, and the crunch from the candied pecans perfectly balances out the soft and fluffy rolls underneath. So whether you're looking to make something special for the holidays, or just enjoy a weekend treat, this recipe for sourdough pecan rolls is it. I'll link to the written recipe in the description, and let me know in the comments if you make this recipe. I'll see you in the next video.